Hi, everybody. Welcome. So I'm going to do a check-in today and a reading for divine counterpart, divine union, twin flame, soulmate, whatever you would like to refer to it to. So welcoming in all of you. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope that you're all doing well. We just had the Libra new moon. This will be more of a timeless reading. Definitely like current energies are important and the astrology and all of that. But I also know inside of this kind of energy, it is very, very quantum. So if you happen to find this like 30 days from now, 60 days from now, it'll be the perfect time for you. And I also have a playlist. It's a twin flame and love readings. And I've been doing more of these readings, so please feel free to check this out, that playlist out. I'll link it if this reading resonates for you, if you're interested in this topic. So yeah, let's just get some current energies and see where we're at. Let's look at the bond. This is the Twin Flame Ascension Take Me Home Oracle, and I hope you enjoy it. And then we'll get a message for the feminine and the masculine. Maybe dealing with soulmates as well. So I'm seeing soulmate before I cut the deck. And I want to show you at the bottom of the deck, we're getting karmic purge with mirror reflections. So especially for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, we just entered into a new season of fall, which is releasing, right? So some of you may be like really, you've worked through some old energies and you're just like ready to release them, done. So interesting. For the bond, we're getting the High Priestess 1010 energy, and this will be the next quote unquote portal. So maybe this is more time specific. 1010, and it's the High Priestess with expanded consciousness, expanding consciousness for both the masculine and the feminine. This is in the bond. So I'm loving this, that inside of divine counterpart, there is like this call, it's like a pull to go within, to look within for answers, to expand our awareness and our consciousness. It's very sort of quiet. It's like we're really tuning in. The High Priestess is always associated with that kind of Piscean energy. So it's really, really deep. And you can see her very magical there. She has the Ankh above, which is the merging of the masculine and the feminine. So the 1010 coming up. And also, I actually want to check the deck. The 10s in this are alignment with source energy. So that's important. Aligning with source energy inside of the bond. That's where the opportunity is. For the feminine, we're getting more of like a masculine kind of energy. With the pyramid there, and it's a 4 and it's the generator, staying grounded. So this is very interesting. I'm feeling this sort of as above, so below there, and it starts off with anchoring. So the feminine energy may be more focused right now on things inside of the physical world, on foundations, on growth, on expansion, but it is sort of coming from this spiritual place with the High Priestess of expanding consciousness. And it's interesting because it's actually the pyramid that's encircled by a sphere here, and you can see the flow of energy. So I just did a reading, you might want to check it out, the collective reading about grounding and how important it is right now. So I feel the feminine energy is focused on expansion, growth inside of the physical world, foundations, stability, success, all those things. And with the number 4, the 4-4, this is alignment with your guides. So I love that for the feminines, alignment with your guides. So you may be really feeling this energy of your guides very strongly around you. And again, getting into October where the veil gets thinner and thinner. Maybe this is your ancestors, galactic energies. Maybe it's Yeshua for you. Maybe it's some of the Hindu gods, or your highest self. It's just aligning with the guides for the feminines. The masculine is getting 9-9, and it's unification. And actually, this is the masculine energy aligning with the divine feminine from within, and also with the divine feminine in general. And it says they're aligning with abundance. So in some of the readings that I did last month, and even the month before, there was this very clear message for the masculine energy to be more kind of creative, to look at himself as a gardener, to take seeds, like the feminine energy would be the seed, and to actually nourish them, and give them love and tend to them, and also to tend to his own garden in his life. And that means pulling the weeds too. It means weeding out this sort of karmic purge that's there at the bottom, and, you know, weeding out the garden and creating abundance through a more feminine place. Like, it's more anchored in softness. It's not so driven by perhaps ambition, it's changing his identity is what I'm seeing. So for the masculines, this is beautiful because you are aligning with abundance and you're unifying more of the feminine principles from within yourself. So I feel this is a lot of heart healing that the masculines have been doing, and I've really been seeing this. And with the feminine energy and connecting with your guides, I think that your guides are really there to help you purge. Like, it's almost through fire. It's really through fire. So like the element of fire being very important for the feminines. And also here we're seeing a nod to fall and the leaves and just releasing what no longer serves you. Like, I'm also feeling the sacral chakra here about a lot of heavier emotions and like the feels, right? And perhaps this is what you've been doing, really getting in touch with yourself and seeing like where you still feel hurt, where you still feel resentment, where you feel anger around your connection specifically, but also inside of other relationships in your life. So some of you may be watching this and there is no specific counterpart even. You've sort of been purging maybe karmic relationships, false twin flame, whatever it is, really. This is the karmic purge. Your guides are helping you with this. The masculines, you are unifying more of your inner feminine and you're aligning with abundance through perhaps a different place than you have previously in your past. So it's a rewriting of your own coding for the masculines is what I'm seeing. What you feel like has been the program in your life, what you were shown as a young boy, as a young man, of how to be a man, and still very much aligned with your own inner masculine, but embracing more of the feminine energy. It's powerful. So, all right, let's get a couple of cards from the Psychic Tarot, and we'll do the same thing, this kind of 3-card spread, and we'll just keep building on it. Let me see if I can... You're not really going to be able to see them. You know, sometimes I do readings where you can really see the cards, and other times I think it's more helpful for me as a reader to do it this way in some cases. So, okay, so let me just put that back there. Yeah, you can kind of see it, but not really. I guess it's not really that important. Okay, so let's do the same thing here. So thank you to the guides. Okay, so in the bond, we are getting, this is the Hanged Man. It has a very different feel here. It's sacrifice. So inside of this High Priestess energy, this is the expanded consciousness. We see that with the 12 card in the Major Arcana. We see that there, where there is an expanded consciousness and enlightenment. So this is what both of the twins, both divine counterparts, are embodying right now inside of this energy of higher perspective, higher states of consciousness, higher awareness through maybe some surrendering, perhaps through some sacrifice, perhaps through, you know, something that seemingly has changed or turned your life upside down, had a reversal, some kind of a reversal, because the Hanged Man is usually in the reverse, upside down, and receives an enlightenment there. So there's a rainbow in that, and it feels like a bit of a rebirth. This is a card of Pisces as well. So actually we're getting sort of the two major arcana of Pisces. So this is a big deep dive here for both divine counterparts. It's really looking at our subconscious triggers, what kind of like, it's deep memory. So it's pulling up memories from the subconscious, shadow, right? It's our shadow self that's coming in here, that's having an expansion, that's having an enlightenment. So it's deep soul work, is what I'm seeing. For the feminine, we are getting mental conflict with the Two of Swords. So this is where it is important. I just did a reading for the collective, and this almost the same message came out from two very different decks about this is where if you are having confusion, two very, like, you have polarizing beliefs, the two voices in your head. This is where your kind of healing is coming from Gaia, from Mother Nature, from getting grounded, from being in nature, from removing distractions, outside influences. It's like, this is where you're really going within and doing a lot of healing, perhaps on the mind. So and the guides are there with you because this is connecting with your guides inside of that. And the twos go back to the High Priestess. So that energy is very important. And yeah, see, it's so interesting how the feminine is getting the Two of Swords, the masculine is getting the Seven of Swords, and this says deception and envy. And so it's a similar kind of mirroring energy where this is where almost like which voice in our head do we believe? It's where, you know, we have the opportunity to get clear, to have that unified singularity of the Ace of Swords if we can integrate opposites from within ourselves. And you may want to watch the reading that I just did and fast forward to like minute maybe 30, I think is when I talk about the Two of Swords here. So the masculine, deception and envy. And I feel like this is, for the masculine, it's like removing false masks, removing the kind of the way that or for you masculines, removing these masks and allowing your authentic truth to be present, to stand at the forefront of all that you do. And for the masculine here, inside of this feminine energy, you are merging with your own inner feminine. And again, taking the seeds that perhaps the feminine has given to you, whether it's your divine counterpart, even a karmic relationship, your mother, a mother figure in your life, or just the feminine presence that you feel, maybe it is from Mother Nature, that you are taking these seeds of wisdom and you're nurturing them and tending to them. And because of that, it's like allowing your most authentic voice and expression to stand at the forefront of all that you do right now, because something is shifting again for the feminine and the masculine. And so for divine feminine, it's sort of where inside of this generator energy, you are actually working towards unifying polarities within yourself, and it's a healing of your mind, is what I'm seeing. And the grounded energy, Mother Earth, is very, very important for you, and also your foundations. So for the feminines, there may be, you're really looking at the future, your future. Like, I know it sounds so kind of basic, but like your retirement, what's that going to look like in the future? You know, your own stability and your foundations being very important. So I think that there's something that you're unifying from within yourself. You're going to be having a new truth, 100% a new truth, coming from this Hanged Man and coming from the High Priestess, expanded consciousness. So yeah, a lot of healing around the mind for both the masculine and the feminine, but actually the underlying energy is more of the subconscious. So how our mind plays tricks on us, we're getting the trickster energy here. And I even see the Two of Swords as a bit of a trickster energy, because this is where our own mind can really lie to us. And so it is really coming back to the heart. But first, while we're doing that, I think there's a lot of healing around some of our subconscious triggers, memories, you know, that it's almost like patterns, and releasing some type of unhealthy patterns is what I see both of the twins doing. And at the bottom, we get the Empress here. So that is that unconditional love and acceptance of who we really, really are. And accepting our flaws as actually gifts that, as gifts, really having that unconditional love towards ourselves, the mother. So the mother energy is coming in at the bottom. So let's keep building on this. I'm going to use these Madame Endor's fortune cards and see where both of the twins are at, or divine counterparts are at right now. Wow. So we're getting the Holy Grail. We'll take this for the bond, the chalice. This is the Holy Grail, rejuvenation and fulfillment. And this is like the Grail code that we've all come in with. We've all come in with this coding. Those of you who are a seeker, you know, you connect with that energy of seeking, of the hero's journey, the heroine's journey. There's some kind of like a truth that you have, that you've always had, about higher love, about unconditional love from within yourself. This is exactly what I was just talking about, and of healing, and you know, and the chalice is so feminine. So this is what's coming in for the bond. I think we'll do one more message for the bond. So let's just cut the deck right there. So for the bond, we're getting the hourglass, time is of the essence. And, you know, inside of the Hanged Man, this is where there's a pause. You know, it's a time where it's seemingly where we can get stuck, or we feel stuck. But at the same time, if we surrender into it, we're receiving all of this knowledge and wisdom and seeing things in our life in a totally new light, and from a much higher expanded place of awareness. But for some of you, and the masculine and the feminine, you may feel like time is ticking. Time is running out. Like it's a sort of sense of urgency inside of this. But I'm feeling this sense of eternal, that it's eternal, that it's infinite, that this is a quantum journey, right? And because I was feeling with the feminine, there is sort of this energy of foundations, monetary success, financial freedom is something I'm hearing for the feminine. And from the masculine, I think that he's like, I am so over trying to pretend like I'm something that I'm not, so that I have abundance in my life. Like the masculine is really looking at more so where he can bring in abundance and wealth and feel in a more spiritual kind of way, where there's a higher purpose behind his life. And the feminines are sort of taking on more of a masculine energy of how can I generate, and, you know, but still sort of feeling conflicted about that, because what does it mean to be a divine feminine, and what does it mean to hold that blueprint, you know, and that code of having this sacred chalice, which is just open to receive. So maybe that's where some of the polarity and the duality is within the feminine, is this push and pull of like doing and being and getting yourself out there and taking the lead and being a leader and being inspired and passionate and driven, while at the same time still honoring your divine feminine essence. And there's sort of this element of time, and this is like very Saturnian to me, of like, why is time coming in so much? So let's check for the feminine. We get revelry and indulgence, and this is Pan with the satyr, but it's also Pan. It's the green man. You know, he's playing his flute there, and this is the physical world. And, you know, it's this would be like the masculine, sort of the god of the earth. He's very connected to nature. He sort of holds the synergy of nature together in like the ancient kind of Celtic tradition, ancient pagan tradition. The green man, or Pan, he has many names, or the devil even, is sort of like holding the synergy of nature together. But there may be some temptation for the feminine, is something that I'm seeing. The feminines may be tempted by something right now. There's some temptation, and you may be having this, these conflicting voices that are like, yes, do that. No, don't do that. I'm sensing angel on one shoulder, devil on another for the feminine. And we're going to get deeper into this. And for the masculine, we're getting winds of change. Your surroundings will undergo transition. So the masculines are going to be in a time of change. There's change coming in for you. I feel this is positive change for some of you, but perhaps there's some hard lessons with this deception and envy. So the masculines may be having a bit of a tower moment in their life. Something is deconstructing some foundation that was built on not a solid foundation, maybe changing for the masculine. You may be, if you're a masculine or if you're watching for a masculine, they may be finding out that something was, you know, somebody lied to them about something, or something wasn't coming to fruition the way that it was kind of promised. Again, taking the masks off too and being more authentic, whether you're masculine or feminine. When you take the mask off, when you use your voice, when you like put your cards out on the table, oftentimes that's a catalyst for change, because sometimes people can't handle the truth. So this may be where the masculines are at right now, 100%. And it's like, maybe it was a ticking time bomb for them. Like they knew that this was going to be happening. So I'm feeling like we've kind of been in this energy of maybe where we've just been kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I feel like it's happening here. And for the feminine, I'm so interested in what these energies are for the feminine. So let's see. At the bottom, we're seeing Medusa. And what would she do? If you looked her in the eyes, she would turn you to stone. And it's very green, the snake, green with envy here. I know she can get a bad rap. Maybe some of you have more positive stories about the Medusa. I'm always open to hear them. Jealousy leads to downfall. So that may be something that both of the twins are experiencing right now, or inside of your counterpart relationship, where there are some lower energies. There's, you know, a need to sort of like, I think maybe that's why it's been very Piscean. It's very internal, because inside of divine counterpart, it's kind of like disconnecting from some groups of people, maybe not spending as much time on your social media. It's that kind of energy, because I do feel this is a very mystical energy here. Piscean, it's very mystical. This is a nod always to Odin, you know, the Norse god, all father, who is all seeing, all knowing, like it's source energy in a sense with the Hanged Man. So, you know, there's something very mystical inside of divine counterparts right now, especially with the High Priestess being there, that you may be attracting energies to you, or there are old situations that are maybe for the feminine, come with me, trying to tempt you, but really it's an energy that's actually seeking to perhaps hurt you in some way, or it doesn't have your best intentions at heart. The serpent was underneath there. And then this is for the feminine and the masculine, where there is this kind of release and this purge of old energies that aren't aligned. And that's because you've had this revelation. You're expanding your consciousness. And with the High Priestess, it's very psychic. So this is also where, you know, maybe this person here or this situation is pretending like they're your best friend, or they're a great coworker or something, you know, and you're seeing through it. So the veil is very thin inside of divine counterparts union right now. There's a very thin veil. So spirit is saying like you are able to see and feel vibrations very clearly. And so to trust yourself, that's the High Priestess. Trust what you know, trust the vibes that you get for both the masculine and the feminine. And it's where I think focus less on the element of time as being so important, and focus more on activating this Grail key code, this code that is within yourself, this higher template that you are encoded with, that you came in with, that you have, it's from your soul blueprint. All right, so let's see. I think I want to pull some tarot and build upon this. So the masculines with this change, the feminine with kind of this temptation. I'm seeing it as a temptation. This may be, feminines, you are generating a lot of energy right now. Okay, you're a generator. So if any of you follow human design, maybe you're a generator or a manifesting generator, but you're generating a lot of energy. So you may be like very attractive right now. People are drawn to you, whether they you know, and for some of you, it's people with wonderful loving intentions. You're bringing in perhaps great relationships, great connections, but also this is where you may be tempted with some things. So perhaps it's around financial opportunities, perhaps it's around dating or relationship, whatever it is. Even maybe, you know, going out and partying a little bit. I don't know, you know, and again, there's no judgment, because sometimes the devil can come in as a coach and can tell us to indulge in our earthly senses. You did get stay grounded. So sometimes he can tempt us with good food and drink and pleasures, and maybe you're buying a new wardrobe for the new season, like something like that. You may be tempted to spend more money, like, and I feel like you are a bit conflicted around these things right now. So let's get some more messages. Let's build on this. 25 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this under 40 minutes for you. Okay, so we're going to keep building on this. In the center for the bond, we are getting temperance. Yes. So with that hourglass there, this is about patience, and it's almost like out of time. It's not so important because divine timing is coming in. That's temperance. This shows us where there's divine timing. And I'm telling you, both twins, both divine counterparts are doing some deep soul work. This is alchemical marriage. So this is where you're working on, you may have, both of you, you have a lot of triggers. Sometimes I hate that word, but you know, it's like polarizing energies. So you may be doing a lot of mixing of oil and water. Emotions are running high. And this is where I feel that both of the twins are carrying this frequency of the angel of temperance, where you're seeing where your growth has come out of this hanged man experience, about how you can align with your center, temper yourself, and walk the middle path. And it is the Hieros Gamos of the holy union of the masculine and the feminine from within you. And divine timing is at play for both counterparts. And perhaps it's even divine timing of accepting the cup, coming into union, because there's been so much healing. So I'm really seeing it's a lot of soul work, a lot of healing, and divine timing is really at play. So for the feminine, we're getting the Lovers. Yeah. And, you know, in the Devil card in tarot, the devil is like holding the Lovers captive. It's very physical here for the feminine. So this is around healthy choices, healthy relationships, healthy partnerships. And you may be kind of conflicted right now, feminines. I'm not going to lie about what direction you're going in. Who's your twin flame? Where is your divine counterpart? If you're in a relationship with somebody and you may be feeling like, is this the right relationship? Is it becoming toxic? There's some kind of mental conflict here. And again, just know that you are really expanding your consciousness in your life, and that's why you're asking these questions. So it's almost befriending them, becoming intimate with these two voices in your head. Ask them both what they need. Ask them both, where are you coming from? What is the emotion of each one? What is perhaps the wounding inside of each one? What is the trigger of each one? And becoming intimate with them so that you get one truth out of, and you can integrate both of them into one truth, and then you'll have clarity. So I feel that's a big message for you, because the Lovers is coming out with this sort of satyr, or like, you know, the devil. And yeah, and so I think that you may be tempted by relationships, or, you know, you're just questioning everything. And that's what happens when you expand your consciousness. You'll start to question things that perhaps before just seemed normal or healthy, or, you know, whatever. So with the masculine, we're getting the Queen of Wands with the Winds of Change. So the feminine energy is coming out for the masculine now twice. This unification of some feminine energy. A lot of times the Queen of Wands can represent, she would be in some cases like the mistress or the karmic partner. It's Aries Leo here. It's very fiery. It's sort of the energy of the witch, if you will. So I'm feeling like even for the masculine, that may be what's happening. There's some kind of deception or envy around some feminine energy in their life. This is what's changing. I think maybe they're doing healing, really truly healing their own inner wounding. If you're a masculine, you may be doing a lot of healing around past hurts, or like a current situation where you're finding out that someone in your life hasn't been totally honest with you, or that you're just feeling like it's not, this relationship or this person may not be right for you. You can feel the change. It's coming into your life. Your surroundings will undergo transition. So something inside of that. And at the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords with the Two of Cups and the Emperor. So we saw the Empress here. We're seeing the Emperor here. So here's the masculine and the feminine. And inside of that, where it's like, let's let these old cycles go. Let's start over. The 10 is like the final outcome. It's where, you know, after the 10, we go back to the Ace. So it's really just taking the swords out of our own back, dropping our victim mentality, even if we have been totally betrayed and stabbed in the back, whatever that looks like. It's about taking the swords out, getting back up again. And the Two of Cups was underneath that. So it came out like this, and, you know, and seeking that grail, and from within ourselves first, and then moving on to these more aligned, healthy, healing, spiritual relationships. And you can see where it's a nod to the twins here, because like actual twins, because it's a mirror version of herself. So it goes back to the self and healing, but underneath that was the divine masculine. And we saw the feminine at the bottom of this deck. So it's all there. All right, so let's see. Where do we go with this? I think I'm going to pull clarifiers for these, actually. So let's clarify. Let's clarify Temperance, the Lovers, and the Queen of Wands. So for the Bond, we're getting strength. I mean, it's so interesting because we saw Temperance and now we're getting strength, and we saw the Hanged Man and the High Priestess. So in the Bond, it is all major arcana. It's all big energies. It's all of these big archetypes. And I was feeling like both counterparts are being called like to really temper yourselves right now. It's not a time for fighting. It's not a time for conflict, but it may be where you're feeling the energy is coming at you a lot. And it may not be with your divine counterpart, but it may be. It may be inside of other relationships, just out in your day-to-day, whatever it is. It's a call to have great strength at this time. And it's a call to walk the middle path. And it's a call to surrender the Hanged Man into divine timing, into divine outcomes for yourself. And this is soul work. This is deep soul healing on every level in the Bond. And it comes with this greater awareness. And it is not about time being of the essence or time running out. It is this forever infinite energy and soul and unconditional love that you are and that source has given to you in its own likeness. That's amazing. For the feminine, to clarify this Lovers, wow, feminines, I'm telling you, I feel that you're a generator right now. You're generating energy. You're generating attention. You're a magnet. And this may be very conflicting for you. I don't know why. But, you know, this temptation here to indulge in your senses, to indulge in the material world a bit more, and the Knight of Cups. So follow your bliss, feminines, okay? The Lovers asks us, it's a choice. What is it that you really love? What is it that you really love? Do that. The Piscean energy. So it's chasing your dreams. He is, or she here, is in search of the Holy Grail. So, and obviously that is contained from within us. not from an outside source, but this is Piscean. So the High Priestess is Pisces, the Hanged Man is Pisces, the Knight of Cups is Pisces. It's mutable, it's in flow, it's adaptable, it's changeable. So there may be something like you're changing. The things that you're doing are changing. Your mission, you may feel like your mission is changing a little bit. So it's really about being open to that, and do get grounded, because I feel like you have all of this very spiritual energy around you, but there's something about the earthly plane, you know, the 3D, all of your senses that are wanting to be nourished right now. And but it's also about balance, because you have temperance in the bond. So moderation, you know, you don't have to go overboard with these things. But following your dreams, follow your passion, your dreams. It's very creative. This is, maybe you're wanting romance, you know, really craving love and romance, and just for things to feel a bit more dreamy and beautiful and all of that. So that's beautiful. Like, you may be on this quest now, feminines. I mean, you're getting the Knight of Cups with the chalice. So this is your holy grail, you know. It's beautiful. And I say go for it, and allow, like I was saying with the Two of Swords, talk to both of those different beliefs, talk to both of those voices, and find one truth from within both of them, because they both come from you. So they are already unified on some level. I think it's about going deep within that. Okay, so for the masculine, so we saw strength. Okay, so for the masculine, we're getting the Nine of Swords. I'm telling you, like, the masculine is definitely like being called to do a lot of healing and to make some changes here. The winds of change are coming, and this may be stressing him out. This may be stressing you out, masculines. If you've been finding out some truths that are maybe shocking, I'm feeling the Tower here with the winds of change, this deception and envy, and then leading into the Nine of Swords. Like, there's definitely some kind of revelation that you are having right now around relationship or work or partnership, or this is like your own energy. Perhaps this is where you, maybe it's not about other people, but this is where you're like, you know what, I have a new truth. I'm doing all of this soul work and healing, and I feel different, and like I want to be more of who I am, like authentic, masks off. And that's the change. And you may be a bit stressed out about this, or it's almost like a projection of where you may be feeling like, maybe how is the feminine going to respond to this? Or it's a karmic situation or something. Let's see what came after that Nine of Swords, the Two of Wands. I felt that we needed one more for the masculine. So I think really it's about, you know, the masculines, you may be having disrupted sleep patterns, this windy energy, you know, your mind is going and going, you're thinking a lot, you're processing a lot. But the Two of Wands is showing you where this is a choice point for you too. Two of Swords with the feminine, Two of Wands with the masculine. You get to decide. So it's like, which timeline do you want? Which path do you want to walk down? I don't see that you're making a decision right in this moment. There's a nod to the water behind her. So it goes back to that Piscean energy and the Hanged Man and the High Priestess, where it's very internal. But the masculines like are picking a new path, I feel, with this winds of change and this Two of Wands here. It's beautiful. You know, this is something to celebrate in your life. And this unification and aligning with abundance that you have, and how high vibrational that energy is for you masculines. Bottom of the deck for both is the Nine of Cups here, beautiful, and with divine wisdom. And so this is Goddess Isis that's coming in for the masculine and the feminine, like in the undercurrent. This is in the shadow here. So look at how they're looking at each other. It's a wish for this greater wisdom. It's a wish and a hope for this alchemy to happen in your life, for you to, you know, understand that there's destiny at play here, that we're, you know, that there are forces that are beyond our control, but also where we can really affect our own lives in such a positive way, and where we can walk this path, and where there is, you know, happiness and joy and contentment, that it's so important that we are allowed to have that, you know, that we're allowed to have that, that's the unconditional love for ourselves, is allowing happiness, allowing love, really allowing yourself to be loved and to experience love, and to feel love. And perhaps where both twins have been in a resistance to that, maybe on a deep, deep, deep subconscious level. So this is some shadow work. All right, so if you'd like to stick around, I'm going to do some kind of sexier messages. So this is going to be how the counterparts are feeling about each other, and then we'll do from the masculine to the feminine and the feminine to the masculine. So let's get one inside of the bond. Show me the bond. So this is the Manara Erotic Oracle, and you don't have to stick around for this. There may be some more seductive, sexy images, so I welcome you to click off now. Okay, so in the bond, it's in the reverse. Anyway, it says, yes, this is beautiful. This is in the reverse. It says protecting your feelings. So it's the sun in Libra, perfect timing. So this is 100% important. This is, I believe, the throat chakra here, and it's in the reverse. So masks off, vulnerability. This is this deep soul work, loving yourself, accepting yourself, that you can be vulnerable, you can share, you can talk about how things make you feel. You don't have to hide them. So I love that. So from the feminine to the masculine, we get the naked self, and this is Selene, the light side of the moon in Leo. So this is like, the feminine wants to see the masculine for who he is. The feminine is saying, I want to see you in your rawest form. I've showed you mine, you know, so show me yours, because here she's just on display for her beauty. They're all watching. It looks like he invited everybody. He's talking about her. She's the muse. So the feminine is saying, I know I've been your muse, maybe. It's the solar plexus, the power center, the masculine, the ego, identity. And the feminine is saying, please take off your mask and show me your naked self. The masculine saying to the feminine, oh my God. So this is Black Moon Lilith. Okay, Black Moon Lilith in Libra. And this is, we're in a Libra time. And he's saying, creating a new self. He sees you, that you have, you've created, maybe you're a bit ahead. You've created a new identity. You may have really created a new life. You're a generator here. Inside of the physical world, as above, so below. You've taken your higher wisdom and knowledge and your connection to spirit and source, and you've been working with that energy in a big, big way. And he's saying, like, I see that you've created a new self, and you're saying, show me your naked self. This is, you want to see his light side, even though maybe you've already seen his shadow. You've experienced it, you even love it. And I feel both twins are doing a lot of the work on the shadow here. That's really just the subconscious. It's not some dark, you know, entity or demon. It's a part of us. Anyway, so you're getting Selene, which is the light side of the moon, where you're saying, show me your naked self. It'll be beautiful and I will still love it. And he's saying to you, this Black Moon Lilith, where, you know, he's maybe seeing this side of you that actually feels a bit more risque or more connected to the physical. He is seeing you very, very attractive and is very much desiring the feminine with the solar plexus. That's desire from the masculine. And it's Black Moon Lilith in Libra. So this is where some of the more rebellious nature of the feminine. It's the dark goddess, the dark mother, actually comes into greater balance, but also that the dark feminine has to come in to balance the scales of justice. It can't all be love and light from the feminine. There's the dark mother and there's the dark goddess. I actually have Kali out here with Shiva, so I kind of set them up together because I felt that Kali, the energy of Kali, is so important. So Black Moon Lilith being very important right now, and he's saying, I see your new identity, I see you've created this new side of yourself, and he's actually very attracted to it. So that's pretty powerful. Maybe some of you are in separation and this is your divine counterpart or your twin. You feel that they're luring you. Maybe it's in dream time. Maybe it's you're receiving communication and you're not sure. You're very conflicted about it. So if that's your message, just leave a comment with like a red heart. You could just do a red heart, and then I'll know that you want a deeper dive into the masculine coming back to the feminine and you're conflicted. Maybe leave a blue heart if you're a masculine and your feminine is reaching out to you and you're conflicted. So that'll be our little code, okay? Because not many people are going to watch a full 50-minute video. So if that resonates, let me know. All right, so I feel like we will end with an angel message. So this is the Intuit Angel Oracle, and let's get a message from the angels. Bottom of the deck, oh nice, is Selene in Cancer. The roads to regret or remorse, and this is the root chakra here, and it's raining, and there's this gorgeous Indigenous American woman, or just an Indigenous woman that's on the canoe, and it looks like she has a symbol for medicine. She's a medicine woman. And it's the roads to regret or remorse, and it's Cancer energy, and there's water and rain. So this may be an emotional time, and I think we're healing like, you know, that nothing has been wasted with this hourglass. How much time have you quote unquote wasted? Did you lose time? Whatever you haven't, it's time to heal that. Anything that you're feeling shame or regret or remorse over, mistakes, right? That there's healing around that. It's a nod to like natural healing here, and that the feminine energy is a natural healer, a natural medicine woman. So some of you, you're medicine women, you're healers. And so the masculine also being invited to partake in that as well, you know, about his own abundance and aligning with abundance, that it's sort of happening in a slightly different way for him. So, oh, let's just get an angel message and then we'll close. Seraphiel, Archangel of the Resurrection. I was going to pull a dragon card, and then I was like, some people don't like dragons, but for me, this is kind of that energy. It's the fire of purification, holiness, truth, and love. This talks about overcoming addiction, okay? Increases faith. I burn up. It's Phoenix energy. I burn up blocks to ascension and turn the energy of negative emotions into productive actions you can take. Seraphiel 44 right here. So we're seeing Neptune and we're seeing Vesta. And I don't know what that other glyph is. So Neptune, that's the Holy Trinity, Mother, Father, God, masculine, feminine, and spirit, God, you know, it's that Holy Trinity. And 44 being a master number, usually associated with angels. The stone or the crystal is amber. So this is stay grounded. It's that tree resin, you know, millions of years old. And it also with amber is very protective. Like if you've ever had radiation therapy, I'm a cancer survivor, believe it or not. I was very, very young and I did have radiation, and I was using amber during that time. So I still wear amber. It helps to transmute radiation. And in this case, it's like the fire of purification. So the amber is also very healing. It's also good for the solar plexus. and our inner fire, our power center. The timing on this is soon. So this is happening soon. The resurrection, something's being resurrected. This is judgment. This is like an angel of judgment, if you will, and death and rebirth, and answering the call, truth and love, overcoming addiction. And it also says ask for help. So that may resonate for some of you, because I think we're also seeing Vesta here, which is about like hearth and home. And it is very nurturing and loving. And Neptune, you know, can be a powerful energy for manifesting in dreams, spirituality, and all of that. But it can also be where we're illusioned, disillusioned. It's connected to Pisces, which can be about addiction, drunkenness, imprisonment. Like it rules prisons and hospitals and like all of that stuff. So healing, so it's just so much. And then Vesta being the asteroid that's connected with hearth and home and healing and love and caring for ourselves and all of that. So it's very interesting how it's like it's almost like Virgo and Pisces, that axis of the very physical and the very spiritual. You know, it's like the human and the soul, and how that is the most difficult axis to master is Virgo Pisces. It is the most difficult axis to master, the 6th house and the 12th house. So this is beautiful. Just know that there's this beautiful energy of fire that's looking to purify right now. So you can invite that in. Maybe just lighting a candle at night, connecting with fire is going to be really beautiful. Burn your sacred herbs. Maybe you are someone, you do fire ceremony, or like you just have a fire that you light in your backyard, a little bonfire with friends or whatever that is. So you're a fire sign, you love fire. So the energy of fire. So those were the messages for Twin Flame in this current energy. If there's anything I can do for you, please do reach out. I'm sending you lots of love and light. Take good care, and I will see you all soon. Namaste.